let me talk to you guys about making some offers. How much should you offer on a property? That traditional maximum allowable offer formula you've been using for wholesalers, that stuff is dead. Okay. In today's video, I'm going to show you a fast, easy, and more efficient way to come up with your max allowable offer very quickly. I'm going to talk to you about how to make those offers, how to do your analysis. I'll show you my favorite software for running comps and doing property analysis. And I'll even show you guys how you can get that software for free. So what's going on, guys? Mike Hill, the Wholesaling Titan here. And if you learned about wholesaling the way I did 14 years ago, or if you watch a lot of YouTube, I'm going to assume that you are already familiar with the max allowable offer formula, which is ARV, which is the after repaired value, or basically what the property is worth once it's all fixed up. You take that, multiply it by 70%, minus your repairs, minus profit. And a side note, some of you guys are still using Zillow's Zestimate as ARV, which you do not want to do. More on that in just a second. Now, in my intro to this video, I said that the formula was completely dead, and yeah, that was a little bit of an exaggeration on my part. You can still use it as a rough baseline estimate, but I still don't like it. Okay. And the reason I don't like it is that it's predicated on the idea that all cash buyers are buying based on the same criteria. So look, if someone has $300,000 of their own cash in the bank, their numbers, their desired returns, their wiggle room may look very different from somebody using hard money, paying application fees, origination fees, 4 points and 12% interest. Also, the formula doesn't account for the investor's goal, which is usually related to the area. So a rehabber looking to do a very high-end fix and flip is different from someone who's doing minimal fix up and just putting a Section 8 tenant in place. That formula also does not account for market demand. If I'm in an area with very high demand, I can make a higher offer. Personally, I have flipped wholesale deals in Miami at 80 to 85% of ARV. Now, if I offer lower than that, I probably would not have been able to get that deal accepted in the first place. Now, on the other hand, if I'm in an area with lower demand and less buyer activity, I don't know, like somewhere in Nebraska, right? Nobody's going to pay those higher prices. Which brings me to, I'm going to kind of bring this together here. The FBI has this saying that the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why I'm getting there. It's so important that you do your market research and you understand what real cash buyers are already purchasing in your target market, because it might conflict with that formula we just talked about, which is largely just hypothetical. Also, doing this research and planning, it's such a huge step. I see so many new wholesalers skip, so don't do that. But you should really know what price points investors are buying, what types of properties they're buying, what's the primary exit strategy in a given area. Meaning, is it that area that's hot for high-end flips, or are you in the hood looking at low-income rentals? What does the demand look like, right? How many properties have sold in the last 6 months? And when you do this, you'll make better offers based on actual buyer data and activity, and you'll become far more efficient with your time and with your marketing dollars. So here's what I'm going to show you guys my favorite software for comping and running analysis. This is called Privy. And remember, if you stick around until the end of the video, I'll show you how you can actually get it for free. So a couple of bullet points about the system, and then I'll pull up a demo so you guys can see what this looks like in kind of real time. The first one I want to mention is simply the data. Okay, Privy connects directly to live MLS feeds plus public records. So that means the comps you're seeing reflect what's actually happening in the market right now, right? Not what happened like several weeks ago. So instead of like driving and looking in your rear view mirror, you are actually kind of seeing the road ahead. Second thing, live CMA. So this is Privy's automated comp engine. Instead of you manually hunting for comps, the system automatically pulls properties based on criteria like square footage, beds, baths, lot size, and other characteristics. So it's really easy. In seconds, you can just get a solid ARV estimate. But one of the really cool things, right? This is money right here, is that Privy doesn't just show you comps, it shows you what successful investors are actually doing. So you can literally see what investors bought, see how much they paid, what they did with the renovation, what they sold it for. It's kind of like getting a behind the scenes look at another investor's playbook. Investors that are active in your market. And I always say it's much easier to sell people things that they are already buying at the prices they've showed you that they are willing to pay, as opposed to trying to convince them. For a lot of the properties, you're even able to see before and after photos of flips. You'll see the purchase price, resale price, and the timeline. So when you're trying to estimate the ARV of a property, as well as your offer price, you're not just guessing. You're looking at real deals that have already worked. Now, one of the next coolest features is something called a comparative search. I'm going to show you this in just a second. But this is where the software finds properties that match the profile of deals that investors are already making money on. So I don't know, if an investor in a neighborhood, right? Let's say it's typical for a neighborhood. Investor comes in, they buy homes for 200K, renovate them, sell them for 350. You can literally click one button in Privy that will automatically find other opportunities that meet that same criteria. So that kind of means that instead of you wandering around the market hoping to stumble into a deal, you're basically following in the footprints of investors who are already getting paid. Remember, these are already been purchased, so you get the whole backstory. So let me show you an example really quickly, and we'll jump into exactly what this looks like. All right, so for the sake of a quick example, I've got my Privy software opened up here, and I just want to kind of show you what this looks like in real time. So first off, if I were just getting started, or even if I was looking to enter a new market, the first thing I'm going to look for is some density. It's essentially a heat map, right? So I want to be looking for areas of saturation. A lot of wholesalers make the mistake, especially my new guys, and it's fine, right? Everyone's new at some point. But they make the mistake of trying to set a really wide net. Maybe if I'm all over the place, I've got a better chance of doing a deal. But what that happens, it usually just becomes waste. So for example, if we're looking at this, and this will change as I start to zoom in. But if I don't want to be in these areas and expending, time, marketing dollars in these areas where right now we're looking at fix and flip properties. So it'll show more as I zoom in. But here we're looking at, 2 and 2 and 2. I instantly want to go and look for where is the most activity happening. Remember, these are properties that have been flagged as being successfully fixed and flipped. So I would go to, my eyes are drawn here, 64, 68, 74, right? Let's go where there's a lot of demand. So as we zoom in, you will start to see in the investor activity, right? The successful deals that have been completed. And so in this small area, you'll see that 28 of these have been flagged as fix and flips. 80 of them have been flagged as being purchased by investors below market value. And there's just a wealth of information in here as you go in. I'll give you an idea of what this looks like, but these are the things you want to look for. You want to study, you want to look for patterns, right? We'll see a lot of these houses in the area look very similar. So that's going to be a good sign. We can play with the data. We can look at it, see what buyers are buying. Remember, these are the properties that have been purchased already. So what they are actually purchasing relative to ARV, as opposed to, just kind of doing the guesswork here. All right, so the next really cool feature I want to show you is the Find Similar Active Deals tab. So again, remember, all of these are successful deals done by investors. Again, 31 of them here flagged as fix and flip. We got 2 teardowns. This will change as I move around the map. But what we can do here is, as soon as this updates, you can just click this button that says Find Similar Active Deals, and the system will automatically look for criteria in active deals that meet the same criteria that investors are already purchasing. So it's a really cool way to find potential active deals here. You'll see that pop up there. And another really cool feature I'm going to show you guys, when you click into the properties, just so you can see what this looks like, there's just so much information that helps you with your analysis. Remember, this is all updated in real time. And so you'll have all of the property details. Remember, this one was sold, so these were the MLS details. You will have tons of public record data, MLS data. You've got your comps coming down here, analysis relative to ARV. All the details on your comps, and you can see you got a lot of stuff here. But this is what I wanted to get to. This is something very, very unique that Privy does very well. And for a lot of these properties, you can come in, and this gives you the understanding of the investor strategy here. So if we look at this, right, we can scroll through the before pictures. We can see when this was listed. So that gives us an idea. You know how long this renovation took or its rehab took, and you'll see this is why it was below market value. Okay, and then if we come in on this side, yeah, it did a pretty nice job with that. Okay, and we can see the sold date, and we get all of the details. So there's just a ton of information here. I would encourage you to play around with this and really use it to understand your target market. Not only just understand the numbers, which you need to, right? ARV and things like that, but understanding your investor, what their goals are, what their journey is, what their timelines look like, what they're purchasing relative to ARV. You can see here, construction, 235 days on market, hold time. And then you've got, tons of more additional information down here. And then obviously when you need to sell these properties, you can come back and find these same buyers who are already buying what you're looking to sell them. So if you are interested in checking out Privy, you can use my link down in the description below. Obviously, very highly recommended. And as promised, for anyone who's interested in working with me one-on-one, I always want to make sure I give you all the tools you need to succeed. So for anyone who works with me, I will actually purchase your Privy subscription for you. Also, you get access to my real estate investing software, REI Titan, for an entire year. REI Titan, AI-based marketing software for your business, and it's essentially a copy and paste of my exact business. So my websites, all my text campaigns, email campaigns, every message I send, Facebook ads, lead database, pre-built voice AI agents that talk to people for you, direct mail campaigns. This stuff is all built, all ready to go. It's kind of plug and play. But the biggest thing in working with me one-on-one, although you need the tools, not just the tools, okay? The software comes with me, which no other software does. So I work with you. We put together a personalized strategy. All of your marketing campaigns, I let you know which campaigns to run, give you buy boxes to target, access to my list of cash buyers that I have been building for the last 14 years. I train you, I listen to your calls, and I get personally involved in your deals. So whether that means I get on the phone with you, talking to sellers, buyers, agents, title companies, negotiating as your partner, whatever it takes to make sure that you get to the closing table. The goal is to get your first or next deal within the next 6 weeks. And if you are interested, there's a link in the description below with more information, as well as an opportunity to book a free one-on-one call with me if you have additional questions. So thanks again for watching. Leave any comments or any questions down below. Let me know what topic you would like to see me cover next, maybe where you're getting a little frustrated or questions you have. And just thanks again. All right, I will catch you in the next video. Peace.